Sorry. That took me by surprise.
Grins on our faces as soon as the open titles are. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simply Spooky with myself, Dan, Viv, and we have the lovely Naomi Walton with us this evening. And Naomi joins us from the Village Chrch Farm in Skegness. I'll get it out there in a minute. And
your teeth in, Dan.
I'll put my teeth in exactly. I'll take them out the jar. And she's going to be talking to us a little bit about everything, any aspects of the Village Chrch Farm that you care to mention. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know Naomi. So, hello, Naomi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much. Very, very good. And how are you this week, Viv?
I'm better now. Well, we've got Naomi on.
Exactly.
I love Naomi now. I love the Village Chrch Farm. And I'm excited as well because we're going there soon.
We are going there soon because we got that event. Well, we'll talk more about that later. And there are still some options open and some tickets available. But we'll also get onto that a little bit later. Not that we're sort of pushing it or prostituting ourselves. Well, yeah, we are. So, Naomi, can you tell us a little bit about your position at the Village Chrch Farm, please?
And what is it? Because Eric wants to know.
Hi, Eric.
What the Village Chrch Farm is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's a museum. It's a Victorian and starting with Georgian, but it's a Victorian agricultural museum. I say agricultural, sort of mainly agricultural, but we do take in different aspects. Like we have a World War I and World War II exhibit as well. Which is all sorts, really. We go all the way up to the 60s. So you're looking at more or less from the original building at 1776 up until sort of 1960s, because that's when it was last lived in, and then it was handed over to become a museum.
Excellent. It's very, very haunted, isn't it? There's lots and lots of activity that's gone on there over the years.
Lots of different stories. Yeah.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry, Two Willies.
Yeah, there's lots of activity that's gone over the years, and quite a bit of it I've sort of experienced myself over the years. So, yeah, it's a great place. In fact, as Terry said, it is a wonderful place. In fact, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it is my favourite place to visit because of the activity, but because of the atmosphere that's there as well. It's got that really warm, loving atmosphere there, which is amazing, you know. And I always enjoy going there. And there's a bit to go soon.
Dan, do you think it's the warm, loving atmosphere because of the staff? Do you think that?
I think it is. I think the staff of the building as well. I think the whole place, the staff are great. I'm not saying that because Naomi's here. The staff are absolutely fantastic. They're lovely, lovely people. But the building itself oozes. It always gives up little bits of its secret, I think, when you're there, you know. And I think that I've been there a few times now, and I think that the more you go there, those inhabitants from the spectral field, as it were, get used to you, and they kind of offer themselves up a little bit more, you know. And it's
ready?
I mean, it's not just got that "Wee Chantel in the house."
We got to sing this. Ready? Woo, 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 woo! She's in the house. Sorry.
So the thing is, it's an amazing place, and you've got. It's not just the farmhouse, is it? Because you've sort of exported buildings there that would have otherwise been pulled down by the local authorities, wouldn't they? So
we have the 1700s mutton stud, which was originally from Witham, which is near Louth. In fact, there was someone mentioned that they knew someone that used to live there or something quite recently. But yeah, it was modernized, and then when they were going to take it apart, you know, because the couple I think moved out or whatever, that's when they started taking it apart, and they realized, oh, we've got a mutton stud. So they brought it over to the museum to preserve it. We also have the tea room itself. That's an 1800s barn. It's a barn conversion. And obviously the big barn where Bob is.
The big barn. Yeah, got to mention Bob. Goes out again. Goes saying, really.
Well, God, yeah. Except from everyone's not going to know what Bob is.
Bob is. Well, don't tell them.
Bob is special.
Yeah, Bob is very special. He's over. He's about 132 years old, give or take. Don't let Dad know. He'll shout at me if I don't get the dates right. But he's over 100 years old, and it's a big traction engine. It's a Robert Hornsby traction engine, which is Lincolnshire. And so he lives in Boothby Barn, which is again 1800s. So we have a few different sites buildings that have been brought to the site. So lots of different history.
The thing is, well, about the buildings that you've had imported there, and also the buildings that were in situ anyway, is you've got the whole history of them going back, haven't you? So you can trace more or less the different families that lived in each building, and you can even to the point where, dare I say it, but death has been associated with all of those buildings at some point, hasn't it? Even the barn that you've got there. Or the stables,
we've got
rather.
Yeah, well, the stables.
Hi, Brian.
They're actually, I think they were originally built on the site. You're looking at sort of early 1900s for that, because I've been looking at aerial photos lately, and so from the 40s. So you can clearly see that they were built then. Same with the blacksmiths, where the classic car is, the blacksmith and all the, up to the wood turners. That and the stables and the cow byre were there as well. So they're not like later additions as such. They were there in these aerial photos. We have descriptions from, dating back to the early 1900s, even further. But the farmhouse is the original building to the site. It's the oldest house in Skegness, and the second oldest building.
Wow.
I've moved you to the
top. A lot of history.
Naomi, I've moved you to the top because I've noticed we've got some subtitles going on along the bottom, and it sort of hides your face a little bit. So, that's why I've moved you to the top.
I like the subtitles on here because they're not very accurate.
The thing that is exciting about Village Chrch Farm as well is that you could go anywhere and touch anything and look at any aspects of it, and you can feel the history there, even to the point, and now this blows me away, everybody, even to the point that they've still got bullet damage from a Spitfire that was having a dogfight above it during World War II. So there's still a hole in part of the wood, isn't there, that was actually hit by a Spitfire bullet. Well,
the story we were given from, someone that lived there, he was apparently only a boy at the time, and there was a dogfight happening between the two planes, and bullets went like sort of along the green and hit the post on the cow byre, which is where we have the tractors.
Yeah.
So there's little bits of history floating about, people's stories.
And I think that's the exciting thing about it, isn't it? You're walking into, you can say that about a lot of buildings, that you're walking into history, but with that place, it's tangible, isn't it? You can feel it and smell it, and it's almost like I don't know, it's like you've got a relationship with the people that have been there before, It's weird. It's very odd, I find it, but it's very homely.
Yeah.
It's just lovely. It's really, really nice.
I think Eric wants to go to the Village Chrch Farm, but it's not in Scotland, Eric, so you'll have to come to Skegness.
We'd gladly take you around, Eric, and show you the sites. Definitely take you to Skegness, and you'd love it. You would absolutely love it. Just give us a shout when you're over.
Dirty Annette's on.
Hello, Annette. How are you, Dirty Annette? You're right.
Oh, bless her. She was so funny yesterday.
Exactly, and hear it, Terry. Exactly. Definitely. But yes, it's an amazing place. So, what's the situation with it at the minute? Obviously, you've gone back there because you left for a while now. You've gone back, haven't you? So you're head honcho there, aren't you? You're numero uno. You're the number one cheese, as they say.
She's the lady in the know. You have to really sort of be on your good behaviour.
Do I have to sell it?
You do. Hi, Kelly.
But it's different. It's very different from a normal job, as it were.
No, sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, I've been there. If we, excuse my sort of break from it for a while, you're looking at about 10 years. I started there as a volunteer at 19, fresh out of college kind of thing, and here we are 10 years later.
But I must imagine it's a very hard place to pull yourself away from, isn't it, when you work there?
Oh, you sleep, drink, and eat everything.
Yeah.
Even when you go home, you're still thinking of things, and
Deborah.
There's always something going on. Absolutely something. Whether it's anything like a paranormal event coming up, or even just trying to plan what you do tomorrow. It's constant. But we have a saying there at the minute of no 2 days are the same. The problem is whenever I do say that, something goes wrong.
Yeah.
But you're not just the head honcho there. I hate that word, but you're also curator of the museum as well. You're getting involved with the historic items.
Yes. Finding out just every bit. Oh, don't me. Yeah, I'm going through the whole list of all the items as well. And obviously there's a lot of items. There's everything that you see on show, but obviously we have a lot of stuff in storage as well. And, you know, obviously donations come in quite often. So, you know, it's preferable not to turn donations away, sort of thing. I mean, recently we've had a 1930s radio that's been donated.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be quite a fun one. And I think it might be going to the war exhibit. I'm not entirely sure yet. Still trying to decide where, because like I said, there's so much, and trying to go through. And I'm working on. Well, I told you I did a textiles exhibition with this wedding dress. So now I'm focusing, because we have some wonderful Bibles actually. And there's this massive one with like gold clasps and everything. It looks amazing. So at the minute, my next job is to root through and see, because have got quite a few. So I'm going to put them out on display, because like I said, there's a lot of things that you don't get to see because they're obviously in storage, or you know, they're just kept away until the next thing where they're needed for. So I'll donate myself. I'm not.
I see that Lois put a question in about.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Oh, you've jumped it by about 10. That's why I'm going back to
it. Because people are just putting comments up.
Well, let's have a question, Viv. Don't worry about the comments.
Oh, I like that. You was a young girl when I met you. I was 19.
There you go. Finally. Right. What's your best experience in an investigation? That's from Lois.
Oh. Well, I suppose for me, because I'm quite the skeptic, sort of on the fence. So there are only a handful of things that I can't actually explain. But it's obviously Cynthia, isn't it? It has to involve Cynthia. You know, we used to do these like these Facebook Live things where me and Cynthia would go around and investigate. Well, unfortunately, this was not caught on the live because we were setting up. Like I was trying to position my phone so it wouldn't fall down. Cynthia was behind me. This is in the dining room. She was behind me trying to you know, just putting some stuff out on the table and everything. And there's a door at the bottom of the stairs that connects into the dining room, and that door's always closed. Like there's a mannequin in the way of it and things. And the doorknob started. It was like someone was trying to get in. Someone trying to twist the doorknob. Obviously we thought, oh, you know, must be someone pulling our leg. But with it being myself and Cynthia, and we have obviously that trust with each other, you know, she was behind me. I could see her on the video. You know, I just hadn't clicked go live yet, so I could see her. It's definitely not her. So we thought, oh, it must be one of the others. No, because we'd locked ourselves in the farmhouse to do this investigation. So there was nobody could come around. So that was a bit of a scary one, I'd say.
I can imagine.
The other one is again, it's in the dining room of the farmhouse. We had a voice recorder, and you got to think how many people come, and they always ask the same questions, don't they? Which is there anyone here? Are you male? Are you female? The whole thing. So we started giggling, just going, what else should we ask her? Do you want a cuppa? Come and have a cuppa and chatter with these two nosy women, that kind of thing. And when we played back the recording, all you could hear was, haha. Like someone just, haha. And we sat there going, well, what on earth's that? And you know, we don't think the voice recorder would have been able to have picked up somebody walking past on the street. You know, I don't think it would have reached that far. We didn't hear it with our own ears. So, you know, usually you could hear if someone's shouting along, you know, if someone's walking past with people and they're shouting or whatever, usually you can hear, but we didn't hear it, you know, without the voice recorder, basically. So that was, it has to be those, I think. Or T-Rex. Sorry, Dan.
T-Rex.
That was such a good night.
That was a great night. That was a brilliant night. It really was a good night. The T-Rex. That was good, wasn't it?
Can I just say, Dan?
Yeah.
When we went live, and you had your camera, and you went down that part of the farmhouse itself where you said that door was.
Yeah.
Dan, you said that you could see it, but there was an experience where it was actually recorded. There was something there, and people were seeing it live.
Yeah, that's right.
So the farmhouse itself, this is my opinion, every time I have been there, it hasn't failed to, I'll say, produce something, whether it's upstairs, downstairs, or even in the attic area. There's been something that happens nearly every single time that I've been there. But for me, the favourite part of the Village Chrch Farm is the mud and stud because of the cat. The memories I have of the mud and stud with the cat.
You had an experience here, didn't you, with the cat?
Yeah, we had to get a member of staff to go up in because we heard the cat. Everyone heard the cat, so we thought the cat was trapped. There's nothing there.
No.
And I've been back a few times since, and I've heard the cat again. So I know you got a ghostly cat there that likes to announce his arrival there, but to me, I just thought that was amazing how it was so blatant. It was so like, I'm here. It's like having a real cat in the room.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We did an investigation. It was me, Gary, and I can't think who else it was. It might have been Adam. I can't remember. No, it wasn't. It was me, Gary, Tom. No, it might have been Adam, actually. And we went into the kitchen area of the farmhouse. And we sat down and we were talking. And the two things that were very prominent, one was the mangle thing.
Mm.
We could hear that going. So I had a quick look into, but there was nothing there. It was just like just the wavia. And the second thing was, and I went back to you. I think you were there at the time, and Sint was there. And I said, "You're not going to believe this, but we've just heard." And Sint went, "A cat."
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, it was the cat. She never mentioned this. She said it was a cat. So yeah, it was a cat.
That's it.
Yeah, there's a spirit cat there, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing. And that, as you're right, Viv says, that house always offers something of itself up.
Something.
Always.
And it's always what you don't expect it to be as well. It's like you go in there expecting, oh, I'm going to see this tonight because I've seen that before. And then that doesn't happen. Something else will happen. And it totally catches you off guard. And I'm not the sort of person, you know me, Naomi, I am a spiritualist medium, but I won't go in there and say, oh, I feel this or I'm getting that. And they're saying this. And they go,
yeah.
Let's just go in there and let's just see who wants to show themselves. And for me, it's like, and can Dan see them as well? Because I know if Dan is seeing them, Dan is seeing them as well as me seeing them. You know, he sees them with his own eye. I could be seeing it with my mediumship eyes. So I need Dan to see them. And I know if Dan's seeing them, that's happening.
It was weird that last time we were there, wasn't it? Because you could see whatever it was. I could see whatever it was. But then I looked with our naked eye. It wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And I kept looking back and thinking, well, there's something definitely there, but it's not. And it was really weird. And that's what I get. I mean, I'm no medium, clearly. But the resounding thing I do get from that farmhouse is a girl, and a woman. They're the two things I get from that farmhouse. And the girl, it was Gary. He was just taking random photos. And I don't know what happened. There was a photo taken of the farmhouse, and we must have been, I don't know, 20 yards from it, maybe really quite close. And he took this photo, nothing. And then when we reviewed the photo, there's the outline of it's in shadow, but it's a girl.
Yeah.
It's like a tight little girl, about maybe 6, 7, something. I'm not very good with that sort of child's ages, but she was about 6 or 7. And it was like she was looking at us like, what are you doing? What are you up to? And also remember that farmhouse, going there one night and watching and saying, why are those lights going on and off? And they were just sort of going on and off at different points. And it was like, what's that all about?
I was going to say, speaking of the lights, so Cynthia, obviously, she went back to the museum sort of just after COVID. In fact, she's the reason she's the one that convinced me to go back in the first place. And when she first went back, obviously, she's been there for, I mean, I've been there 10 years. She's been probably about 15-ish, I want to say. I could be wrong, but about 15 years. When she went back after COVID, she went over to the farmhouse and thought, I'll do a bit of cleaning, make sure everything's set, dust a bit. And all the lights were going on and off around her. And so she's obviously talking to herself, and she's like, oh, will you stop it? I'm back, stop it. And it only happened Well, that's it. It only happened that sort of one day. So, you know, obviously she comes in a lot now and she's cleaning over there and nothing. No, the lights don't go off or anything, but it was almost like oh, she's back kind of thing, you know. So
yeah, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice. That's really nice. And the thing as well, sorry, go on, Viv.
We got some things in the chat, Dan.
Oh yeah. What's your best? Oh, that was Lois. Sorry.
Right. So
wait until something slams the door open and closed. I've seen that before.
It's talking about when you went.
We've had a door slam in the attic. Have I told you this one? Yeah.
No?
Yeah, because I suppose you've not been up in the attic, right? So in the attic, it's the same as the original Georgian layout. So you know, you've got 2 ground floor, 2 first floor, and then 2 up in the attic, and there's a spiral staircase to get upstairs, and it's very narrow. And you know, when you go upstairs, so the hallway itself is very narrow, but then when you turn off, there's 2 big rooms, big doors, like big wooden doors. And the rooms are actually really big and spacious. When you look up into the attic, you're sat there going, oh, it looks a bit dark. Once you get up there, because of the windows, you're actually going, oh, it's not that bad. But one evening, we kind of did like a volunteer one. And so there was only about 5 of us, I want to say. And we disappeared up into the attic, and there was obviously stuff up there. So we kind of got less interested in ghost hunting and more interested in, oh, what's in this box? That kind of thing. And then as we were leaving, bearing in mind there's no wind up there or anything, but as we were leaving out this door just slammed right behind one of the other volunteers, and it scared her after death, you know. And it just completely slammed after us. Like no one.
Wow.
The doors are always open up there. We never close those doors. You know, up in the attic is storage room. So, but yeah, it slammed behind, and everyone sort of pegged it down the stairs.
Wow.
Do you think they would have had a servant living up there at one point, or?
Well, the servants' room is actually the schoolroom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So where we have the schoolroom, that doorway from the nursery into the schoolroom was never there. If you actually look in the kitchen. Right. In the far left hand corner, you can see the square from the hatch that they used to go up there. So
you pointed that
I mean,
I do
have on the census. Well, this thing I do have on the census servants living there and things. At one point, it was briefly used as a bit of a boarding house, not serious, but you know, enough to, you know, if someone's staying for the weekend, then they had a room, kind of thing.
Wow. Well, that's intriguing.
So, taking up all sorts.
Big shout to Donna. She's
Hi,
watching
Donna.
in from Toronto in Canada.
Very
nice to see you, Donna.
Yeah.
That's me. Terry says, I'll never forget the loud sigh right in my ear as I entered the farmhouse.
Yeah.
You must have been with him, Dan. Or...
No, I was.
Oh, you weren't. I have a spirit cat in my house, but I keep telling her to stay away and happy. Laugh out loud, Dan. I've seen a soul leaving a kitten's body when it's passed. Oh, that's sad.
Oh.
It is sad, and then in another way, it's quite nice.
Yeah. Cats and dogs are seen spirits and shadows before we see in our eyes. So I suppose they see before us anyway, don't they, animals?
They seem to pick up on us, like you can see into a different dimension, isn't it, a lot of the time?
She has it on camera, the kitten leaving the soul of the cat. It was a sad day.
Yeah, but it was.
That's cool and sad at the same time.
Yeah,
Brian wants to know who owns the place.
No one.
Village Chrch Farm.
It's a charitable trust. So it has a board of trustees, and that's it. I mean, it was council owned, but then the volunteers took it over from them. So really, it doesn't have like an official, you know, this person owns it. It is just a charitable trust.
And the lovely and gorgeous Mrs.
Bell.
She says the pleasure beach at night is spooky. Had a few experiences in there when I was locking up one night when I lived up there.
Oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah, Dan, plus I think they can see in full spectrum.
I think you're right, Eric. I'd go along with that.
Belgium be beating us Canadians right now in soccer. Oh, the World Cup. Oh, God. I'm supporting Germany. Get in. I don't even know if they're playing.
Is it the World Cup again? Am I missing? So I know football's on, but is it the World Cup
Yes,
again?
it is the World Cup, and no, you're not missing anything, to be honest with you.
I was having this debate with someone the other day. I was like, "Are we sure it's the World Cup? How often is the World Cup? Is that every? It's not every year, is it?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years, right? So
Well,
why was I
Germany
right
did
there?
good, apparently, Donna was saying.
Oh, they did all right.
Oh.
I fancy them winning.
There you go.
That's what my pound bet is going on.
Oh, I knew you'd had money in the stakes. So Naomi, what would you say is the most prominent or active spirit there, or whereabouts would it be? Would it be in the house? Would it be in the old stables, or would it be in the mud and stud? Or
Well, I think it's a safe bet to say the farmhouse. I think. I think I would like to think. You can't really say definitely when in terms of ghost hunting, but my opinion is that there, if I could say definitely, there's a woman in the farmhouse. A lot of different groups tend to get the same name. I don't know whether that's just because the name is, common and old-timey and an easy guess, as it were, because it is a common name, and that's Elizabeth.
I saw the woman in a farmhouse, different from the woman that stands near the scullery bit.
That's the one that I'd say is prominent.
And the woman that I saw in the farmhouse, you have her picture on the wall.
Oh, which one? There's a few. Is it the one? There's a portrait upstairs in the main bedroom.
She's got like her husband's. She's there with her husband's, the husband and wife thing that going on.
Is she the older woman, Viv?
Her picture is on the wall, and that was the face that I saw in the farmhouse. But I don't know whether I saw her with a mediumship eye. But I saw her standing there. It's like she come around the corner. It was like, oh, like this. She really took me by surprise. And it was like, get out of my way, sort of that kind of thing with it. It scared me. Took me by surprise. She's got that aura about her. But then when I came downstairs, the lights were on. I'm thinking, that's the woman I've just seen. And I've seen her more than once in there.
Well, when I told you about this volunteer that had seen a full body apparition at the bottom of the stairs, and this obviously predates me starting there, so this is over 10 years ago, and she's always maintained it even now, and so as far as I'm aware, for me, I'd say there's definitely the one in the dining room, in the pantry, that sort of stands in the doorway for the dining room. I don't know how to perceive her, so I hear a lot of groups say it's like she's scared to come in, or maybe she's just sort of stood there just going, what are you doing? Or, is she sat there going, I'm unsure about this, like they shouldn't be doing that. It's hard to determine which one, but I'd definitely say there's definitely a woman in that doorway.
Yeah.
But I mean, as for this full body apparition, which I'm inclined to believe this volunteer, and like I said, she was locking up. And as she went round to the farmhouse, because you have to lock the farmhouse backwards, so you don't start at the front door, you actually start at the back door and go backwards. And as she got to the stairs, she was just sort of like, oh, sorry, didn't see you there, I'm just locking up. Sort of turn, go back, she's gone. But she said she was as real and as solid as me and you, kind of thing. So
I don't feel uneasy in that property at all, but if there's one place that I'm a little bit unsure of, it's the hall as you go in through the front door. That bit at the bottom of the stairs, Don't know why, but it's that bit just as you go in through the front door, and you've got like the hall, haven't you? And it's just sort of by the step, a bit back from the door frame. Don't know why, just a bit odd. It's probably could be anything.
Think it could be a psychological thing? Did you remember to wipe your feet before you go in? And if you didn't, somebody's there like, you've come into my house and not wiped your feet.
Well, it could be.
It's a farmhouse.
See, the thing is, I watched an experiment once that was done by, I can't remember, he's a parapsychologist, and he's ardent that he can find an answer to most things. So he wanted to create this building, and he put this history into this building, that this building was haunted. So he got this building, decorated it, did it the way it was, and he said, right, now they're going to go in there, and I'm going to tell you what rooms they're going to feel uncomfortable in. And every room that they went in, that they were uncomfortable in, he forecast what was going to happen. He said, they'll get uncomfortable in this room, they'll get uncomfortable in that room. And they said, well, why? He said, well, the way that I've designed it, architecturally and with the colour scheme, it's going to have an effect upon their psychology.
Wow.
So the colour of a room can make you feel that it's haunted, and so can the shape of a room and the way that it's built.
Yeah,
and it's very clever. And I often wonder, when people say, I feel uneasy in this room, is it spiritual or is it architectural? Is it something that to do with the room itself, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's I mean, I think you've got to look at every aspect, haven't you, really, before you can declare something is haunted.
I mean, for me, it's a psychological thing, because even when I go to lock up or unlock, I still run through and put all the lights on.
Well, yeah. I haven't done it.
Have you seen spirits and icy winter windows after a fire? So have you seen anything sort of in the windows of the farmhouse at all as you've sort of approached it, or lights on when there shouldn't be, because you're there to unlock? I
was going to say, we've had lights on that shouldn't be on. The attic light used to come on randomly, and the light switch for it is actually, you have to, at the time, you had to unlock the door for the attic, and the light switch was on the other side. So you'd have to be in the attic to be able to turn the light on and off. So we've had that. We've actually had a funny one, the campers, because obviously we have the campsite. And the campers have reported seeing our toilet lights go on and off. And the toilet lights are actually motion censored. But they said it was actually gone 10 o'clock at night or something, they were going off. And we sat there going, well, as far as we know, no one's been on site. And they'd actually have to have the lights set off by going into them.
Yeah.
So that's another one. And this is more than one occasion that a camper has said about this, because they were sat there going, oh, was there someone on site? And there wasn't. So the lights have been going off, and like I said, the motion sensor. So
it's funny you say that about campers, because you had a team of people in there one year called Ghost Quest, who I'm a member of, and they did their investigation, their filming, and it was brilliant. And they decided that they were going to camp in the middle square of grass in front of the house. And they set up their tents, getting ready to go to sleep. And they were that scared because of the activity outside on that patch of grass, that it scared them enough to get out, pack their tents away, get them in the cars and go home. That's how scared they were. They wouldn't stay.
Oh, wow.
And these are ghost hunters, you say?
They are ghost hunters. Me and Dan wouldn't do that, would we, Dan?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to put the cat amongst the pigeons here, because I'm going to say something that might piss some people off. Not anybody's in the chat at the moment, but it might do a little bit later on. You had the upstairs room, which I'm guessing was the maid's room, and at one point set up like a schoolroom. Am I right? Or one of the rooms up there was set up like a schoolroom, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the farmhouse, we've got the schoolroom up there,
in the farmhouse,
which was originally the maid's room.
Now, I know somebody who went in there during an investigation and came down swearing blind they were interacting with a Victorian schoolmaster. And I didn't say anything. And they were saying, oh, we had this interaction with him, and he used to treat the boys like this, and he did that, and he used to treat the boys abominably. That goes without saying, Victorian schools, I would imagine. But the fact is that was just dressed. But it was dressed to the point where it had fired his imagination that he was seeing and experiencing something that was clearly, well, in my opinion, wasn't happening. Because it was just dressed up, wasn't it? It wasn't actually used as a school, was it?
No, it wasn't as used as a schoolroom. But if you believe in, spirits attaching themselves to objects, then I guess it's a possibility.
Why?
But again, it depends on how you perceive that.
Here's a question. Why would a spirit attach itself to an object when you could attach yourself to a person? Object or person?
Maybe they just don't like people.
I think with objects, the reason I'm quite on objects is because I think what you can do is you can leave a residual energy on it, like a fingerprint.
Yeah, like a fingerprint.
Like who you were.
Your
energy in that sense. But I don't think you can get to the point where it is intelligent enough to argue with you.
No.
Or to hold a conversation with you, or to Because to me, that in my mind, that's we'd never hold up in a court of law irrespective, would it? That would not fly, would it? Whereas I think the thing with the whole residual thing with the psychometry and that, and people reading off of items, is doable because of that item, if you like, it compounds your energy.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe. I think that's
it's
what
like
it does.
it leaves like a sticky residue, like
Exactly.
a fingerprint with
Exactly. But that's where I am on that one. And you're the same, Viv, aren't you?
I'm the same as you, Dan. 100%.
Same. We're the same. 100%. It's like Viv and I. A lot of investigators believe that you can exorcise or you can expel a spirit. We don't believe that one bit, do we?
No. We
think very much that with spirit energy, that if they're there, you tell them to go away and do an exorcism or whatever you want to do, they're laughing at you because they know exactly what they can do and move in and out as and when they want. Well, that's what we believe, isn't it?
Yeah, we're very much the same, and that's from years and years of listening, researching, going off investigating, and it's I suppose it's really within the last 2-3 years, Dan, when me and you have been doing things together more seriously.
Yeah.
Dan and I have come across some things that has thrilled us, both thrilled us, scared us, terrified us, made me cry. Dan's made me to the edge of it. And I'm sure we'll get more, but anyway, we got some things come up in the chat, Dan.
Excellent. It's hard, at least for me, to differentiate between the two, Viv. Wish I could send you the video of the kitten. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Donna.
Email it to the page, Donna. If find us on Facebook and you can send us a private message on there.
Be interesting to see.
When you go into the farmhouse.
That's where Terry gets to see. Again, Terry's seasoned, isn't he? So
yeah.
All right,
with
Robert.
Salt and pepper. It's seasoned with salt and pepper.
Seasoned with salt and pepper. Oh, Brian, you've got to try and get there. You must try and get there. It's amazing.
Even you can go during the day and visit as the museum. They've got a cafe. Go and get a cup of tea, meet the staff. They're wonderful. Get a burger and chips or whatever it is you want from there. Go and have a little nosy around. Ask as many questions as you want. They even have a gift shop, which is pretty neat, to be honest.
It is cool. It's very cool. I'll be honest with you, and I'm not just saying this. I don't like leaving there when I'm there because it's wonderful.
Carl,
and also, I think you did. Did you not have the little imps and things? The imp.
Oh, the Lincolnshire imp. Yes. There's a local artist who does stone resin. So he does the faces like the Green Man. He does crosses and bats as well. He does these stick men thing. You will understand when you come in December. That one you will understand. And yeah, he does do the Lincolnshire imp as well. And they sell really well, to be fair.
I bet they do. That's an interesting story, the Lincolnshire imp.
We're gonna have to get one, Dan.
Yes,
definitely.
I don't know what the pet peeve was, but he's got a pet peeve.
Yeah, there you go. Terry's done as well.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll tell you what, though, I bet you didn't run away, though, did you?
No.
I bet you didn't run away.
What's with vampires?
I have no idea. I don't believe in them.
They do like dolls. Yep, Dan. Someone's agreeing with you, Dan.
That's Eric. Good old Eric. Sorry. During one of the API's nights, the mannequin is believed to have moved. It usually faces the bed, but when myself and Lou went in, it had moved to face the window.
But my question is, how are they sure that nobody was up there and moved it without them knowing? Unless that is locked off and it's under strict conditions. There was lots of people that particular day, during the day, nothing with the API during the day and early evening. I don't know. I'm the jury's out for me with that one.
Yeah. We had rubbing in the attic. Could not fathom out why we worked it out. It only happened when both doors were open, front and back. It was the attic hatch, the updraft. Yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing, Robert, isn't it? When you look into it, a lot of it you can sort of wash away with environmental. And you're my new best mate as well, Eric. So get yourself over here.
He needs all the friends he needs all the friends he can get because he ain't got none.
I'm not even going to argue with that. It's probably a fact.
Even I don't like that. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Annette says, I agree. Spirits please themselves if they come or go. Nobody can make them do anything they do not want to. Exactly, Annette. Exactly. The Church Farm is one of the best places. Carl, it's amazing.
It's coming in December. It's coming in December.
Carl, it'd be great to see you there in December, mate. It's lovely. It's lovely. Robert, if you're fixing or taking that walls down in the house, you bring something in your home. Yeah, you can start something up with alterations of a property, I believe, and the Green Man ornaments are made by my. Oh, are they?
Oh wow! Can we get?
Okay.
Now? We want 2 Lincolnshire imps. Should we try and get one?
I think Charles Grandpa just makes the green men, doesn't he?
If it's the stone resin, it's a guy called Mark that does it. Yeah, he's God, we've been having them for years, absolute years. Yeah, Mark Borman, that's
it. We should see if we can turn one of them into a haunted objects and take it everywhere we go and just leave it in a corner somewhere and then pick it up when we go home and then keep taking it. Don't cleanse it, clean it, do anything with it.
Leave the energy to get attached to it. I agree.
See what happens.
Everyone loves the Green Man ornaments. In fact, every year Mark does this
exactly ridiculous
trail of it. So he puts loads up. And in fact, I can't remember the one it was this year. It was quite a big one, and he paints them all bright colours. Like there's a pink one, a gold one, a black one. You know, hides them all around the site, and then you've got to go and do a hunt for them. And he does it every year. So I don't know what ornament it'll be next year, but I'm intrigued. I know one year I'm sure he did Lincolnshire imps one year.
That's
all
cool.
different. And got to go find them all around the site.
Will that be at the farm?
He's just finished it, so it's only on sort of the season time. So the next one will be next year now. But his masks are still up actually, so I can let you still find them, but they are up.
Let's go. We're coming. We're coming on this hunt. So we've got.
Hiya, William. I hope you're well, and your good lady wife. I hope she's doing well as well.
What? Go to
We're in Percy. I've not heard of that one. Where's that one? Nothing will change my mind about Village Chrch Farm, though. I love Village Chrch Farm.
Dan, you're not on the couch tonight.
And I've got expelled. I got thrown upstairs because I was making too much noise. And I wanted to watch TV. I don't know. So Robert, if fixing and pulling down walls, spirits will start showing themselves by moving things. So, Naomi, is it true or not? The stairs in the house used to be the other way round.
Yes, that's true. So obviously the original Georgian setting was so when you go through from the dining room to the parlour, that was the bottom of the stairs, not where they are now. That's part of the Victorian add-on. So yeah, the stairs are technically the wrong way around.
That is interesting.
So there's
yes, I believe you're confusing objects. Yeah, exactly, Eric.
He does huge sculptures.
See, I've never seen the sculpture. I've never seen the big sculptures. I've only seen the small ones he brings to sell at the museum. So I love them. In fact, I actually bought one for my mum for Christmas. It's a green man, but he's got a long beard and it's plaited with like a gold paint in it. It looks amazing.
Dan,
that Percy place is in North Yorkshire.
North Yorkshire, right? I'm going to organise an investigation there and give us a shout when you can. We'll give you a shout and you can come with us. Oh, there you go. As the builder, I thought so. There you go.
What are you doing now? I just told him.
Oh yeah, that as well.
So I want to talk about your war room, just briefly.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So you have some amazing artifacts in your war room. So again, this brings on the thing about, I'm going to say haunted objects, and I'll say it in inverted commas. Do you think people are having more and more experiences in the war room with certain artifacts that are put out on display for people to see? Like once they're there, bang, you're getting everyone saying the same thing. Once it's taken away, you're not hearing that anymore. Once it goes back there, bang, they're all saying the same thing again.
Well, I love the World War One and World War Two exhibit. I'm a massive history geek, so you know, that's great, and it is one man's collection as well. So
that's mind blowing.
You know, it is really. He's absolutely wonderful. He's put a lot of time and effort into his war room, and he's always shuffling bits about. So you might have seen this bit, and then look, next bit he's changed it. You got to keep up. But
yeah,
I'm on the fence about the war exhibit because I was there before the war exhibit came.
Yeah.
And where the exhibit is, so the back room was actually just a normal tool shed originally. And then when we had the new building work, so the shop that we have now, for example, that was part of the new building work. The shop originally was in the little black hut. So once they had the new building work done, because they actually built a new tool shed and everything, they moved the old tool shed down there to the new build. And then that back room, that became just a storage room. So the wall that's up there between the two rooms, that's just wood. So it's not a brick wall or anything, it's just wood. And the doorway was made purely for the war exhibit.
Yeah.
But before that, so you had the storage room in the back that was blocked off. There was only one entrance to it, and that was down where the bees are. So you have the doors to the cow byre, which is down the bottom. There's the war room. Then there was a door sort of inwards that was for the storage room, and then on the other side you have the door to the stables. There's no interlink. It's only now it's been connected via this doorway they made purposely for the two rooms for the war exhibit. And so the front room used to be the Victorian schoolroom.
Yeah.
And that in itself, before the war exhibit came along, used to be incredibly active. In fact, it was probably one of the best hotspots, as it were, you know. Now with the war exhibit, again, if you believe that things attach to objects, then, you know, it's probably quite rife. We've had a few things in there, but I've also had probably more prominent experiences before the war room came along. So I am on the fence with it. So, you know, it's a difficult one.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
We had something happen in that war room. Well, the weird thing was that we set up, there was me, Gary and Adam and Tom, I believe. You were there that night as well, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, you probably were. And we set up, Gary set up some cameras there, still cameras, IRs. But the idea was we went away, got it locked, and then we go back later. Have you got any audio? Is there any audio equipment in there that plays anything? Like makes sounds or anything like a...
Yeah, there is a sound system in there, but it's we don't turn that on at night. That's set. The only way you can turn it on, I believe, if Rodney's there actually, because he plays the stuff through his phone. And he never leaves, like, and he has a laptop there as well, but he obviously when he's not there, the laptop or anything isn't there. So
sorry.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because we set these cameras up, walked away, locked off, went away, came back, and then we reviewed the camera footage. There was nothing on the camera footage, absolutely nothing. But what we did hear was the drone of engines, like this. Mm-hmm. Then we heard a siren, like an air raid siren. Then we heard bombing.
Well, in that case, no. As far as I know, any audio things played, Rodney has.
It was almost like it was like an air raid. It was like an air raid.
Yeah.
And Gary looked at me and I said, I must check with Naomi, see if there's anything in here that can be triggered by somebody coming in and makes the sounds or the effects. But
would be switched off for paranormal. Like at the end of the day, everything gets turned off. So
then that's odd. So that could have been something like residual off of one of the items or something, I guess.
It could have been, yeah.
But the best exciting thing about that museum is he let me hold the. It was battle used 1917 Lee Enfield rifle.
Oh, Rodney's chopped his rifles.
Amazing.
But you know what, Dan? Don't forget you had the dogfight. So the drone of the engine, and the sirens would have gone off, and you've also got there along that Lincolnshire coastline, You've got some old airfields there. There were crashes there. They have been digging up, well, couple. They dug one up on the Wash, which is not too far from you guys. The sea had unearthed it, basically, and they had to pull it up because it wasn't nice for members of the public to see, because it had the pilot and the co-pilot still sitting in the seats. So they got the funeral that they deserved, and with honours. So I'm wondering if you've heard a replay of something that actually happened outside.
So that happened. It may have been.
I mean, in all fairness, Skegness was bombed. In fact, recently I was shown some pictures of some of the damage that the bombs had caused around in random areas of Skegness. So I do know that it was bombed.
Yeah, well, it would have been, I guess, because it's a coastal town, isn't it? So it would have been prime for invasion and what have you, I'm guessing. But it was interesting. It was an interesting experience. It was kind of like, well, we were excited, but not too excited, because we thought, it might have been a bit of kick that we set off somehow, but clearly not. That was interesting.
Dan, defo to your let's go and investigate that.
Excellent, Brian. I'll give you I'll clue you in when we do it.
Mark is my dad's best mate, so I've been given a shed load of ornaments over the years, says Carl.
Oh, wow. That's right, isn't it?
Terry says he remembers that.
There you go. I was working in an old house. I was sure I got bitten by a spider or something. Went to hospital, got cream for it. I'm sure I brought something home. It got into my head for about 2 weeks. I thought I was going nuts. Went away, been okay since. Were you shooting webs out of each wrist?
And do you wear tights?
Did you have this sense in your head, like a spidey sense?
Oh, God, Dan.
Sorry, Rob, I couldn't resist it. Oh, is there, Terry? I didn't notice that. That's interesting. Oh, that could feed into it.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember the whistle. I just heard the which was quite odd. It was a lot worse than that.
He turned green with it. I was going to say, I know, and it's kept away under lock and key and under safekeeping, but there is a very famous, a very beautiful whistle that has come off the Titanic, and I have been lucky to have held it. I'm not blown it, but I've held it. I know you've blown it, but
I've blown it. It works still. Yeah.
It is beautiful. So it's not just war stuff.
No,
there are other things.
Well, this is just it. I mean, Rodney, when he got this whistle, he told me that it was just this sort of lump of almost kind of like coal, as it were. It was just this black lump. And as he started cleaning it up and everything, and the brass started showing through and everything, he discovered it was a whistle. Yes, it does say RMS Titanic on. Whether it's authentic or not is up for debate. It might have. Well, no, this is true. I do think it might be a replica that was done in the 50s, but everyone still gets excited about it nonetheless. I mean, I do. I'm like, oh. But he did give me the opportunity to test to see if it still works, and
it still works.
And it still works. It sounds exactly like it does in the 1993 film with Kate and Jack. Yeah, sounds exactly the same.
That's excellent. I love that. I love it. I just think it's the whole thing. It's just amazing. I mean, for me, I love animals. I love my cows, as you know. And it's geared very much for children as well, not just the paranormal, the ghost hunting. It's geared for a family day out. There's lots to see and do. And
speaking of animals, sorry, I'm butting in there. No, we have acquired some rabbits now.
Woo!
We used to have rabbits, but now there's a lady. She's kindly she was running a rabbit rescue, and so she's sort of passed them on to us. So they're ever so lovely, very friendly. My favourite one is he's massive. He's like a tortoiseshell kind of colour. His name's Tiger. He is huge, and I mean huge. And when it comes to feeding, he loves his food. So you go to feed him, and as soon as you do the latch on the cage, he headbutts the cage to open the door. But they're also there. So
you had chickens. You had chickens at one point, didn't you? You've still got chickens?
We did, yes. We don't have the chickens anymore, but we used to. There's always foxes. Then we have deers as well, and squirrels. I saw 2 squirrels the other morning.
Oh, that's cool.
But you have events as well. You have
Yes.
events all the time, though. You sort of Christmas events, Easter events, all sorts of events, and even a bikers event.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we get the bikes come in. They're supposed to be it's sort of it's not technically an event. It's just if they're this way, please pop in. You know, go grab a cup of tea while someone sort of looks at your bike, kind of thing. And that's I think it's supposed to be the 2nd Saturday of every month. So obviously it's now winter, so obviously that's died down.
Yeah, back in the summer.
I mean, you're coming on the 3rd, aren't you?
Robert, yes.
Next morning, I've got to get up early to do the event for the Christmas market.
You got quick
So we have.
You might as well just sleep over. Just sleep over.
Yeah.
Bring one of those bags and just up in your office.
That's it.
Don't
out
sleep in the middle of that field. It's haunted apparently there, so I'll sleep away from that.
Yeah, just sleep inside where it's warm.
There's nowhere safe. I mean, even in the tea room, I can tell you this. So I think I've already mentioned to you when I last saw you. So a few weeks ago, I got there for about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was sat outside, and it just out the corner of my eye, I saw like someone's like dress or something just sort of float. So I assumed it was my my assistant manager, well, also my mentor, to be fair. And so I sort of went, "Oh, good morning." Oh, and there's no one there.
Yeah.
And the same day, obviously, you know, I lock the front door when you know, if I'm there on my own or anything. So I went up to the office and started sifting through some paperwork and everything, and I heard this almighty bang from downstairs. So off a trot downstairs, I cannot find a single thing that may have dropped or, you know, fallen, whatever. I cannot find out what caused the big bang. So I then thought, oh, maybe it's one of the gardeners. Like maybe they've come in, maybe they've just banged the shed door or something like that. Maybe it's just echoed or something. And then as I sort of opened the door to just have a look outside, that's when I saw the gardener driving in. So no, I can't answer that one. But this is the thing. I think also our tea room and the function room is probably really underestimated, as it were. Like that gets a lot of activity. You wouldn't think it, but it does. So you know, we've had bits where we've been sat upstairs, and it's not just me. There's been a couple of other volunteers that have come. And I've popped downstairs and they're sat there going to me, "You've left me alone with the ghost." What are you talking about? Well, that door's just opened.
See, that's the thing, though, isn't it? Okay. Even though the buildings are new or relatively new, that land has been there forever. So,
well, I mean, like I said, the tea room itself is an 1800s barn, and they just added a bit of new build to it. But I mean, even where the shop is, again, that was still an old building. It wasn't. It's only been jazzed up on the inside. But I do have pictures when it was literally where the tractors used to be stored.
Yeah.
And then obviously the room was upstairs and they just extended it to make the office.
The woolly cow is my spirit animal, says Eric. I think he means
cows are cool.
Highland cattle, I think he's talking about, isn't he?
It might be, it might be Eric's talking about, yeah. A35 car rally, 8 a.m. Sunday, not good when getting to sleep at 4 a.m. No, it's not, mate. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Had a school trip to Chrch Farm Museum Primary School 30 years ago. You don't look old enough, Claire.
No, you don't, do you?
Using wholemeal flour from there. Weird what we remember. It's true.
Yeah.
These little things that come back is very true. Doppelganger. Yeah, that's an interesting subject, doppelgangers, Eric. Yeah.
We should put that in the jar of doom. I'll put it in the jar of doom.
Excellent. Yeah, the tea room is, yes, it is. We've had bits in there as well. Not a lot, but bits.
We'll be having our Horrible Secret Santa or Horrible Santa's Lucky Dip. And Dan is going to be Santa.
That's horrible enough. No extra you didn't even need the dip for that.
Don't forget to get your jogging bottoms and your wellies on, Dan. Nice.
Actually, while we're on the subject, I'm going to quickly put it out there. We've got an event going on at Village Chrch Farm on the 3rd of December. There are still some tickets available. What were they? 20? What was it, Viv?
I can't remember now.
I can't remember either. But anyway, we've got tickets available. We're still selling them. Quite a few of them have gone. We've got a few left, and is there going to be a fish and chip supper thrown in the cost as well?
Yes. And a horrible Secret Santa.
So, yeah,
25
we're doing
quid.
that. So we're running that. So if anybody's interested in grabbing a ticket for that,
25 quid a ticket.
25 quid a ticket.
And you get fed.
You do. And the closing date, did we put a closing date on access? Was it Monday the something?
It was this week, wasn't it? So you got a week to decide if you want to come and get your money in, because we've got to order the fish and chips.
So it's a week, it's a week. So, yes. So if you're interested in coming along to that, come along. It'll be fun and frivolity. It's going to be like a social, but we're going to throw some ghost hunting in.
Do I look like Naomi?
I need my hair darker and a bit of a fringe.
You're the younger, prettier version.
Oh, you flatter me.
Ah. Yeah, come.
To be fair, there must be something in that, because Claire said that she thought that I was Tom Cruise at first. So there must clearly be some relevance in that.
I'll try and contain myself.
It will be our magical balls.
It will if Cynthia has anything to do with it. And Cynthia is lovely. Cynthia is the person, really, you should come to the Village Chrch Farm to meet. Cynthia and Naomi.
Oh, yeah.
Because the two of them together.
Yeah, they're lovely.
It's just hilarious. In a nice way, lovely way.
It's me partner in crime.
Claire's put, I'm overdue an eye test, to be fair.
Bless her.
I would say forget the eye test, go straight for the dog.
Dog? What's the dog got to do with it?
What, dog and a white stick?
Oh my God.
Mind you, she's right. I do have a certain look of the superstar about me.
Oh my God, Dan.
Right.
You're terrible. So, what's coming up at the Village Chrch Farm events-wise that you can say, that you can talk about? Is anything coming up in December that people can come along to, buy a ticket on the door, or?
Oh, well, we have the Christmas market on the 4th. And that's when we start having Santa as well. So we actually close for our month on the 17th of December, but every weekend, the last weekend being the 17th, we also have Santa available. And you know, on our Christmas market, we get the fire lit in the farmhouse, and the idea is to serve mulled wine and oh no.
Are you playing Santa?
Yes. 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 And at some point, I'll be honest with you, at some point, Claire, I'm expecting the police to get involved.
Oh my God, Dan. Terry says you are Santa.
I'm Santa.
Can I just say thank you to our lovely Lois, who's been modding in the chat for us tonight while she's supposed to be working. But yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Take care, Lois.
It was nice meeting you too, Lois.
I
love her. She's funny. When I watch your lives, it's just I love it.
Did you see last Tuesday's? Not Tuesday just gone, but the Tuesday before on Things Network. It was disgraceful.
Yeah, she brought the whole thing down. She just ruined it.
It was disgraceful. Between
Dan, I don't believe she did that single-handedly.
No,
I do know you.
Let me reiterate that. When I talk about Santa and people on my knee, I'm talking about women over 30. I'm not on about anything under that age.
God,
they do, Eric. They do, don't they always, Dan? They do, Eric. They definitely do, mate.
Oh God, Dan, you're going to get us in trouble, you know, one day, big time.
We're all right.
It'd be like we get a night in a police cell somewhere, and it'd be going, "That's all right, get your K2 out, people. See the cell's investigated. It's be old in here." That's what it'd say.
I love that.
And Annette's mum. Oh yeah.
God,
that was awful. That was without doubt the filthiest thing I'd ever heard on here. Annette should be ashamed of herself.
No, she shouldn't. She's lovely. Leave her alone.
She's lovely.
She had the wrong glasses on.
She went right up in my estimation when she said that. No, she wouldn't want us together, Eric.
Oh, my
It'd be a
God.
nightmare, wouldn't it?
I'd have Eric the Viking and Dan, Dogman Dan.
Dogman Dan.
Oh, God.
Dogging Man Dan.
I've nicknamed Eric the Viking. That's it.
Eric the Viking. Good name. Good Viking name, Eric.
Yeah.
My mum used to call my dad Eric the Blood Axe because of his temper.
Eric the Blood Axe. God, that's a proper Viking name. If ever I've heard one.
Good Viking name.
Eric
That
the
is.
Blood Axe.
Yeah, my mum used to say that about my dad. She was just like, "Oh, it's the temper because he's grumpy." So I was like, "Oh."
My mum used to call my dad names, but nothing I can repeat on here. We're terrible. They're
There you go.
divorced,
He's named after Eric. Says he's named after Eric the Red, the good old Viking there. Eric the Red.
He means Eric the Ginger.
Eric the Ginger.
And after what you said about Lois being ginger, I think
That's
he's
Lois
scared.
the Ginger.
Lois the Ginger.
Lois the Ginger.
Oh dear. But
She's not even here to defend herself, Dan.
She shouts at me, but she can say whatever she wants to me because she can insult me as much as she wants because I can't understand the word she says.
Poor Lois.
Who's going to be one gunner? Who's going to open the toss up?
I can understand her perfectly fine.
I just go, yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. She's lovely.
Dear.
Yes, if anyone wants to go on to the Village Chrch Farm on the 3rd of December, as I say, get in touch with one of us, or you can message us on the page. You've got this week.
Sorry, Robert.
Same
here, and I live down the road because he's in Scotland as well, isn't he, Robert? He can't understand her either.
Really? No.
I love Lois to pieces. She's brilliant. Well, it'll be great now. Used to be long and blonde there now, and I've just bought dairy. There's nothing wrong with that.
What time is the event? So we're talking about 7:30, 8 o'clock. With fish and chips. We'll start off with fish and chips. We'll get the merriment out of the way and the excitedness. And then if you want to go and investigate, you can. Or you can just sit with us in the cafe and drink tea, keep warm, and just have fun. It's totally up to you. So it's a free evening. You can do what you want within reason.
Yeah.
We don't want you burning the place down and tearing things up. But, it's totally up to you. So it's a free evening to do your investigation, have a bit of tea with us, a bit of a social.
Yeah,
Dan's horrible secret Santa. Lucky dip, whatever you want to call it. You're going to have to put your hand in Dan's sack. That's the only
Is that when I open my trousers and go, help yourself?
Oh, God. Oh, dear.
What's up? Yeah, that's... I dare say I'll have some equipment with me, Claire, that you can use if you want. She is a wee lass. She's lovely. She's a bonny lass, is our Lo. She's a Ouija from Glasgow.
I hate to think what Dan says about me behind my back when I'm not around.
Oh, what?
So far, nothing yet.
He said, shut your face, Viv. I'll smash your face in.
Right. Oof.
Oof.
Oof. Oof.
Oh, God.
There you go. Eric's got his own equipment. You have what's that? You have an orange in your stocking, Danny. I know. When I were a lad. Good man, Eric.
When you were a lad, you talk as if you were around with the dinosaurs.
I'm getting. Yes. Do you know what? My boy said to me today. I'm not. No, it wasn't today. Sorry, I said it was the other day. What was it like just after the First World War?
It's you.
What was it last? We got right about the First World War. What was it like? I don't fucking know. Ask your mother.
Oh, Dad.
Mine is 34.
Do you know what? Well, you're going to have to start preparing yourself, Dan, for these harder questions that are going to come in when he wants to talk about the bird and the bees, and the ghosts.
The ghosts, definitely. He's on the ghosts now.
Oh, Mika's started on the ghosts.
Oh,
this Saturday.
They do.
Oh, go on.
They start young. They start young.
Well, Mika's 6. She's 6, and she said to me, I was getting ready on Saturday, and she come into me and she was like, "Mummy, have a good time at your ghost hunting." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, but I'm not going just yet." And she just went, "Mummy, what does a ghost feel like?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know when I feel a ghost."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh." I was like, "Why? What do you think a ghost feels like?" "Oh, I don't know. But I remember when I was 3." And I'm like, "Just don't."
Right, I guarantee you, I'll have money on this. I guarantee you, she'll get more obsessed with it as years go on. I'll guarantee you, by the time she's old enough, she'll have her own equipment. She'll be out there investigating.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
That's right with you.
Without a doubt, she'll come out with us. Without a doubt, I'll tell you. That's how it starts. It's how it starts with most investigators as kids. Little questions.
Yeah.
And then bang, it becomes an obsession. Look at his face, shock horror. That's my normal look, that is, Robert.
Do you want to see shock horror? I'm actually making something for Dan. It's only taken me a year, and I'm still not finished.
Yeah.
It's taken me a year. I've still not finished because... Where is it? Oh, here it is. I've got as far as this.
What is it?
Oh, it's the chicken foot thing.
Oh, chicken foot.
Yeah, but I've only got as far as this. It's got one feather on it.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, but I'm still. That was the other one because there was one for me and one for Dan.
They're cool.
But that was to what was it? To ward away.
It wards off negative energies, doesn't it?
Jeez. I think we're going to have to put it on our.
Is it voodoo or something?
Voodoo, yeah. I thought we'd put it on our equipment bags.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
It's nothing else that'll creep a couple of people out.
Well, I could make it into a key ring for you, Dan.
Yeah. No, I'd rather have it hanging around my neck. Terrify people. And I'm coming with a big top hat with feathers sticking out of it.
With your chicken foot.
Like a voodoo. What they call it, a voodoo lord or whatever it is.
I thought, yeah, I'll have a go at doing this chicken foot thing. But it's taken me 2 years.
Bryce says, I have 4 and 2 are sensitive and 2 aren't.
Oh.
And Eric says, I have pet peeves. Yeah, me as well. My mum and dad were straight off the bat. Did never poo-pooed anything like that. Told me straight.
My dad has his own ghost story. Like my dad's cantankerous, so you've met him.
He's lovely.
But he maintains.
Yeah, you know what he says about you, in fair. Things he says about you, though, Naomi.
Oh, don't. Me and my dad have a very good love-hate relationship. But no, he's always maintained one ghost story. And I can't remember how we talked. This is long before I started at the museum. I remember him telling me this sort of when I was a teenager kind of thing. And he obviously is. We used to go to Whitby a lot. My grandmother lived in Sneaton, which was a small village just outside Whitby.
I know Sneaton.
I love it there. It's amazing. Sneaton. My mum and dad got married there, you see. And he was up at the Abbey, and he was sat looking at the Abbey for, you know, it's my dad. We don't question why he does things. But he was just sat there, and he said he saw a nun, like sort of go like around the Abbey, and then just sort of as if we're going upstairs. And I was like, right, okay, because this is, again, it's my dad. So I'm sat there thinking, my dad is like a man of reason. I mean, he's a geography teacher.
Yeah.
Secondary school geography. He'll talk to you until you're blue in the face, kind of thing. But when he told me that, he was the last person I'd expect to kind of support ghosts, as it were. But then again, this is the same man that when he and my mother got married in Sneaton, they had the guns go off at the end of the wedding. And depending on which way you want to believe it, it was either to scare the fairy folk away, because fairy folk in theory don't have the best reputation. They're not the sweet little things with wings kind of thing.
That's true.
Or again, depending which way you look at it, it was either to scare the fairy folk away or scare the devil away.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I have yet to question, although I did speak to him after I last spoke to you, Viv. He is happy to sit down and tell all the folklore stories that he knows. If you want to record or anything like that, he's happy to do it.
We want to get him on a show, Dan.
Yeah, is he a Lincolnshire man?
Oh no, where was he born? He was born at a camp. Because both my grandparents were military.
Okay.
So and then he moved to London, and then sort of, I'm not sure at what point they went to Whitby or anything, but and then he's been in Lincolnshire for the past 40 plus years.
Wow, he's had a colourful life, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a teacher for 36 years. My dad was the one that took us to different places. Okay, so Derbyshire. Do you know of the Devil's Arse?
I've heard of it, I think. Yeah, go on.
It's a cave in Derbyshire, and my dad took us that because, again, I know my dad is obviously disabled. He's got the 2 walking sticks, and because it's cerebral palsy. He's done so much. And I know I've seen pictures of him where he's gone down into caves, and you can see him sort of holding onto the rope and everything. These are old pictures, but yeah, he's done so much.
Wow.
He's fascinating to talk to. He's got lots of story for everything, to be honest. So, but he has said, because we were talking about fairy folklore the other day, Viv. I went and spoke to him because he used to tell us. It wasn't very often that he'd sit down and tell us sort of like bedtime stories. But when he did, they were always fairy folklore ones.
Yeah.
And he was a big fan of Whitby Folk Week, and he loved storytelling in general. So we always used to go.
Dan, we need him on.
We do need to get him
about
on.
That, not just that, but the traction engine is.
Oh yeah,
the love affair with Bob and the steam thing, and then
I'm thinking about the cannon thing now, because I'm thinking to myself, cannonballs are iron, and iron is meant to be like kryptonite to fairies, isn't it? To the fae, they don't like iron, so I wonder if that's anything to do with it.
It could be, but yeah, I just know it was in Sneaton. Because, like I said, that's where they got married, and he had the guns. Because I asked him about it the other day. I was like, I'm gonna ask Dad, see if he'll either. I mean, he said he'd like to tell the stories to an audience.
That'd be
if
great.
he didn't want to record, he's happy to do that. He's better at like talking to a group rather than like that one-to-one sort of interview basis.
Okay.
So
Get him on.
Let's get him on.
I mean, you can try get him on the show. He's very anti-technology.
Well, if
that's 2 of us.
You set it up for him.
Yeah.
And then all he's got to do is talk, and then we can when it's finished, we can sort of say goodbye to him and take and get him off.
Yeah. But he's happy too.
We'd love to get him on. Seriously.
Yeah.
We love your dad, honestly.
Yeah.
This is amazing. He's an amazing man.
Lovely. I like your dad.
Oh, the Sunday drives are good.
Got some questions.
Thank you. Any scope for Ouija or other similar things at the event?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got some that have never been used before, Dan?
Yeah, I'll bring some with me if you want.
Oh, there's the vampire connection.
Oh, that's what Bri was on about. Oh, I see, Bri.
Yeah. Talking of vampire connection, sometimes at the Village Chrch Farm, once a year, they have a steampunk event.
They do.
Yes.
Which
they
would
do.
be
A goth
good.
weekend, isn't it? They have a goth weekend as well, don't they? Or is that the same thing? I don't know.
No, we have the steampunk weekend, because that's obviously a lot of the Victorian fashion, isn't it? If it was my way, I'd be having regular goth weekends and everything. But no, we do have the steampunk. I need to show you tea dueling. Tea dueling is what he's not heard it.
We're doing it on the third, Dan. We're doing it on the third, tea dueling.
Tea dueling?
Yeah.
Yes, like dueling with swords, like a duel.
Pervy.
But
it's not tea
only
bagging.
you think that.
Oh, well, fancy a bit of tea dueling.
Only you can turn it dirty, Dan.
Well, I can still magically. Teabagging.
It's tea dueling.
It's a harmless cup of tea, Dan.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, tell me, tea dueling. I'm all ears.
Tea dueling. Now you'll have to. I learned it from the steampunk community themselves. I got to tea duel with the mayor at this year's steampunk event. It's quite fun. So it's a really simple sort of game, and it's where you have your opponents sit across from each other, and you have your cups of tea, and you get a biscuit, and you have to dunk the biscuit into the tea and then hold it up, and obviously you hold it like half and half. Right. So half of the biscuit will be soggy from the drink, but you're holding the hard part, and you have to. The biscuit will start to crumble, and you've got to get it in your mouth. And if you fail, but your opponent does manage it, then you win. They win, rather. It's really fun, and it's such a simplistic game. And you kind of do like 3 rounds, and then you can play the finalists off and things like that. But and all it requires is a cup of tea and a biscuit.
I've never heard of that before.
And you know what?
See, in my house, we just called that messy.
We can have a prize for the winner, Dan, when we do tea dueling on the 3rd.
Oh, yeah. That sounds quite fun, actually. It does sound quite fun.
If you're unsure of it, if you go on my Facebook, if you scroll down to, I don't post a lot, so it should be quite easy to find. But you'll see the video of me tea dueling with the mayor, so you will understand then what it is. It's so much fun.
I will look at that. Definitely. Definitely look at that. Wow. Yeah, your dad. Yeah, he would be, wouldn't he? Local 40 years there. Oh, Brighton's only half an hour away.
Bri, why don't you come on the 3rd? Come and meet us all. Come and see us. Message me, Bri. Oh, no, he's got to sort his car out, hasn't he?
Oh, he has. Oh, so Eric knows the Devil's Caves.
Yeah, my dad took us there when we were younger. It's really good. Absolutely amazing.
It would be cool to hear his stories. It would. I agree, Eric, fully.
Tell your dad we've got people already wanting to listen to his story.
Just keep a little while we're up for the night.
Oh yeah, Dad's let me drive the engine now. I've told you, haven't I? It's traumatizing.
You have.
It's a big hunk of metal that's old, and you've got to get it all the way to go left. You have to turn it 40 times, and you have to go. It's scary.
You've been on it, haven't you, Dan, when it's been up and running?
Not when it was up and running. No, I sat on it, I think. Oh, have I been on it when your dad ran it?
I think it was in Steam, but it wasn't. You weren't driving.
Running. It was in Steam, but it was beautiful. It was like, I'm a big sort of steam engine, traction engine train fan. But exactly, Claire. And to be honest with you, that was, and I'm not even, that was a highlight for me. That was absolutely the best. One of the best things for me is going on that machine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, it's
Eric.
wonderful.
Exactly. That's why we need to get together, Eric. Get them at it.
Do you know what? I'm a diabetic, and we can get diabetic biscuits. There's no excuses. We can still do the tea dueling.
We'll look after you, Bri.
Yeah.
Oh, the steampunks, they also do like teapot racing. Do you remember, what was it? Was it Robot Wars, where they'd have to like make little robots on wheels that would go and attack each other?
I used to love that. Yeah.
Wars? Well, basically, from what I gather, from what I've seen so far, is teapot racing is something similar, where they have like, teapots on wheels and they race them.
Yeah, that's cool. That's something I could get involved with. That is something that I get involved with. So Claire went holding in the Devil's Cave. You're braver than I am, Claire.
Yeah, the reason that it was called the Devil's Arse or something is that if you somewhere in the cave there's a particular rock that when you shine the light on it, then turn the light off and then turn it back on, it kind of looks like the face of the devil. But the reason it's called the arse is because apparently when it floods, the noises it makes just sound like farting.
Oh, really?
So it was nicknamed the Devil's Arse. Yeah.
That is funny. That is funny.
That is cool.
That is really cool. So
but it's an amazing place.
So if people want to get in contact with you, Naomi, for any reason, what's the best way of doing it? Have you got a website or an email address or?
Yeah, we've got the Facebook page, which is the Village Chrch Farm. As soon as you type that in, you'll find us. Our logo is like a black spot with red spots around it. Right, that's the best way to explain it. And so on there, obviously, you'll get like our email address is there, and phone number. The email should be there as well. But you can just drop us a message, and we're open. Well, we've got our winter hours at the minute, so we're actually open Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we're closed on Mondays and Thursdays. But if you do make the phone call, then we do have the answering machine, so that's not a problem.
So just put that on there for now. The Village Chrch Farm on Facebook, and I've spelt church wrong.
Church.
Oh, church. There you go. Eric's following that.
I'm following that.
Oh, there you go.
Fantastic.
That's good, Eric. Excellent.
I mean, we have lots of upcoming events planned for next year as well. I'm trying to sort of organise a bit of a murder mystery kind of event at some point. Fingers crossed that's going to go ahead, because at the minute we're sort of like trying to work it out and plan it, and who do we need to get hold of. Obviously,
if you need to Hercule Poirot, Dan's your man. Just
Oh, you've never had a bomb moustache.
Did you?
I did.
Get you in
and
a
I got
suit.
rid of it because Hazel said you look like a fat Hercule Poirot, and so I shaved off.
Oh no. Oh, but yes, we have a 1940s event. That's usually big. That's probably our biggest event of the year, and that's in May. All our events will go up on the Facebook page, and the website is on there as well. So, but there's
cool.
loads coming
up. That's very cool. Eric likes that.
And do you hire the function room for anything? If anyone wants to do something in the function room, they can email you and discuss that with you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also a possibility. And we're happy.
Donations. Can people become members and donate to the farm to help keep the doors open?
We used to have a membership program, which is something I'm sort of looking to bring out again potentially. But obviously it's volunteer run, so if anyone has the time and are nearby, then although saying that, we have volunteers that come from as far as like Nottingham. If they're here for the season, if they've got a caravan or something. Like I said, we have the campsite as well. In fact, at the minute, you'll be able to see it. There's a steampunk caravan on our site at the minute.
Is there?
Ooh.
Yeah, the guy's lovely. We said he could keep it there over the winter, and if he needs to go do whatever. It's absolutely amazing, and he takes it around and he shows everyone.
Oh,
he was going to leave me the keys to let everyone look inside, but he forgot. But I can always get them off it, because he rang today just to check in, make sure everything's okay. But yeah, so mainly it's like if anyone has the time to maybe come and volunteer, whether it's a bit of tour guide or even cleaning, gardening, even simple things like that, or just be nosy. To be honest, there's a lot to be nosy at.
It is an amazing place. It genuinely is an amazing place.
How far is everything? It's a long walk.
It is a long walk, yeah.
I heard today, well, Andy told me today on the news, Scotland are licking their wounds at the moment.
Why? What happened? Is it football?
The referendum vote thing, they wanted to take it. They got told no, they can't do it, so that's it. Scotland will remain part of England. That is it.
Rishi Sunak?
It's on the news. It went to some high court thing or something that they wanted to do another referendum to break away from England, and they got refused.
Oh, did they?
Not by England, yeah. So
because she wanted him to put it to a vote, didn't she? I think, or something. She wanted it
something like that, yeah. And they got told no.
I don't know much about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't watch the news. I ain't got time.
It's far too depressing now, isn't it? Eric from Edinburgh. Not.
Oh dear. You can't go there unless you're ginger and you drink the iron brew. And square sausages, apparently.
Oh, I love square sausage.
Square sausages.
Yeah.
Square sausage. Square
Amazing.
sausage.
They make some great foods in Scots.
I've never tasted it. I've seen them in
Very
Morrison's.
nice.
They're not the real square sausage. It's completely different.
There used to be a Scottish company called, they were like an Iceland, but they were a Scottish company. I can't remember what they're called now. And they used to have the original stuff, and they were down here as well. I love haggis. God, I love haggis.
Never tried it.
It's nice.
Isn't
Tatty and Neeps.
Isn't
Burns Night in January?
Yes.
Where they have the haggis and a whiskey, and then they...
Yes, I used to celebrate it with a mate. Well, he's Glaswegian, so I used to get me tickets to go out with them. Go out with him at Burns Night. Oh, can you, Robert? Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. I'll have a look there then. Is that the proper one? Oh, well, it would be. It's Belcher's. Oh, I'll have a look at that.
No idea.
I used to make Empire biscuits for someone, which is a Scottish thing. And it's like
make some great food.
Shortbread with jam in it.
Oh.
And then you put icing on the top of it, and then usually like a cherry or something. Someone asked me to make some a few years ago, and their mum was Scottish, and they took them over to his mum and said, apparently they said that was one of the best Empire biscuits. So I was like, oh, I've never heard of them before but yeah.
Empire. They've got what you call it. So the Tunnocks tea cakes and the Tunnocks wafer things come from there, don't they? They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff out of Scotland. Like a good Kaylee.
Kaylee, who's she?
It's like a Celtic, Scottish, Irish thing, Irish, Scottish thing. It's a Kaylee. It's like a dance and party type thing. We are independent. Well, yeah, because you've got devolved government, haven't you? So, in that sense, you are.
So, we've been on for an hour and a half, and I'm sure Naomi is tired and needs to rest up and do what she needs. Bake water.
Yeah, that's it. So basically, a barn dance.
They don't need to do barn dance. They've got castles up there. They're a tenner a penny up there in Scotland. But anyway, it was brilliant having you on, and we'd like you to come back on at some point. Come back on, even if it's with your dad.
Yeah, I'll see if I can coerce him to come on.
Have a word with him.
Have a word with him.
Yeah.
If you want us,
interesting.
If you want us to seal the deal, tell him to come on the 3rd, and we'll give him some fish and chips and sweeten him up. You know.
Yeah, I'll see what I can get out of him, because when I did ask him about it, he said he would prefer to maybe tell the stories to an audience rather than do it as a one-to-one basis. So
brilliant.
This might be the way forward to do it.
We could get him to do a talk for us somewhere, Dan.
Yeah,
sure can. We can get him out.
Yeah, I've got the things in my head now. I
know of a haunted steam place, but it means we'd have to go and pick Kelly's dad up, take him to the steam place that I know of. Naomi's dad, sorry. I was talking about Kelly earlier. And maybe we could get him to do it there during the day or something.
He'd be like it. See, yeah.
See, I've got my mind's working overtime now, because I'm thinking we've had on here folklorists, haven't we? That written books. So if we could put her dad, link him up with one of them, and then he gives his stories to them, and then they can put the book together between them.
Yes.
So I absolutely love hearing. That's one reason why I like your show, because it has I love it when you start talking about like folklore and urban legends and myths. You know, even down to Mothman. I saw you were doing Mothman the other day.
Yeah.
That's a Canadian. No, it's not Canadian, is it?
Point Pleasant, America. Yeah.
It's, yeah.
But we do the
Skinwalker.
Skinwalker. We did Owlman. We did Owlman, didn't we? We were going to do Owlman. Owlman was an interesting one. That was Cornwall. That was an interesting one.
Oh.
So I'm thinking like, I don't know if you're thinking the same, Dan. Brian Hoggart.
Exactly, Eric. Exactly. Brian Hoggart would be the perfect fella. He
would be the one, but he's based in Worcestershire somewhere.
Yeah, but he travels. He doesn't care. He travels for folk. He's a folklore fanatic, isn't he? He's a folklorist, is what he is. So what he does is he gets all these myths and legends and fairy tales and he compiles them. And I think for posterity, they've got to be saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the fabric of the history and the fabric of this country, and it needs to be saved.
Yeah.
So I think if we have a word with him,
maybe get Richard involved as well. Maybe we could speak to Richard
because he's he likes folklore, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a bit of an aging hippie, is Richard. So he won't admit it, but he is.
Definitely.
He is.
Right, I'll try and sort that. Exactly, Eric. Is what Eric said. Yeah, exactly.
Rainbow.
Yeah. Oh, Terry's always called me Rainbow because of the hair, although it's not very rainbowy at the minute.
I was going to say, tell him to naff off because you're not George Zippy Bungle or the other one, Jeffrey.
Just tell
him to naff off. I'm not Rainbow. Rod, Jane and Freddie. I remember Rod, Jane and Freddie.
Rod, Jane and Freddie. I always thought it was so dodgy about them three. Yeah, there you go, Eric. Yeah, he's American.
Yeah.
Just around the corner, Robert.
Just around the corner.
You should do, Eric. Move over here.
Yeah.
We could be the dynamic duo.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Which one's Batman and which one's Robin?
I'll be Fat Man. He can be Robin. Zippy and Bungle. Break one, George.
Oh, God.
I love that. Never a dull moment, is it?
No, there is, but then I ruin it by filling it with filth.
Jeffrey used to work in Sainsbury's in Hamworth after Rainbow. No, there was those court cases, weren't there? Because he was accused of doing naughty things.
Was he?
Yeah.
What, putting his hand up that puppet?
Ipsy Dipsy. Who's Ipsy and no, it was.
It's the Teletubbies.
No, it was Tinky Winky.
Tinky Winky, Ippy Tippy Lala Poo.
But Tinky Winky had the handbag. Don't forget.
That's right, because I said he was gay, didn't I? He was a gay icon. No, I got the Batman. Oh, there you go. Right, Eric, you are now from now on, from this day forward, you should be known as Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. He can be the Fat Man, and you can be the Bobbin, not Robin. Bobbin. We should write sketches for these comedy shows. Fat Man, Bobbin.
Should.
Definitely.
Oh dear, we're wasted, Dan.
People say I should be.
Bruce
Wayne, Batman.
No.
I know that, Robert, because he's secret. Nobody knows he's Bruce Wayne.
No, he could be Bruce.
Well,
Bruce Forsyth.
You've just told him.
Oh God, haven't I?
Bruce Forsyth. He'll be going. No, nice to see you nice.
Oh, Polish. No, to see you nice. Look, that was scoreboard.
Yeah, he's like that all the time.
Yeah, but no, blew the lot.
Nunu
blew the lot. Nunu was the Hoover.
Do you know
this conversation took a completely different turn.
The best thing on that show was the baby son.
It was very. She's about 30 now. That girl, isn't she?
That baby son.
Well, she's not a girl anymore. She's a woman.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
Well, I think we stopped now.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in. It was absolutely brilliant. Thank you ever so much for listening in and partaking and joining in and all of that good stuff. We do appreciate it.
Everything on next week's show. Can you remember, Dan? Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, let alone next
no
week.
idea. Naomi, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's absolutely been fantastic. We must get you back.
Yes, and your dad.
And your dad.
I'll
get on to having a word with a couple of folklorists and see if we can drum something up to get that information written down. We need that saved, definitely.
So next week we have Haunted Scouse are going to be joining us.
The boys from Liverpool. Oh, that'd be an interesting one. That'll be a good one. They're a nice couple of lads, aren't they?
Well, no, they are.
They are nice lads.
I've been out investigating with Adam,
exactly,
with Ghost Quest. So yeah, I know what he's like. But no, they're good bunch of lads from Liverpool.
They seem like a bunch of lads. Yeah, they do.
And tomorrow night at 7:30, Lois has got her true crime show. She will be talking about Harold Shipman. I can't make it tomorrow, otherwise I would have been on with her. But she does a great show.
She does.
She knows her stuff when it comes to serial killers. So she will be discussing our most prolific serial killer here in the UK. That would be an interesting one tomorrow. And then on Friday is Frighteners on the Friday night show. And I think on Frighteners they're talking about science versus paranormal. Yeah. So that will be an interesting show. It might get a bit mad. As usual, it is, we do advise parental advisory because it might get a bit rude and the language The language gets, it's terrible. And on Tuesdays, we have no Mysterious Worlds, but we will be streaming from the Things Network to cover Paul's spot. Paul is away with some family issues right now, but he will be back at some point. So never fear. It's just for now, Dan and I, and Lois and Jamie will fill that spot for Paul while he has to be off. But I don't have any other announcements. Do you, Dan?
No, apart from if you haven't got a ticket for the 3rd, give us a shout. Where can I get hold of the tickets from the?
If they can contact either yourself, me, or the page, Simply Spooky page, send us a private message and we can get that arranged for you. It's because we have to put in the orders for your fish and chips. So we have to have a cut-off date, which really has to be by the end of the week. Let us know. If we can sort something out for you, we Definitely. Will. If you want to come, we've still got a few spots. You're more than welcome. Everybody is welcome.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
Apart from Bri. No, mate. I'm only joking. Bri.
It's Bri on Friday. Bri, are you on Friday?
He does look. He reminds me of Fred Batt. Bri does.
He's a good man, Fred. Good man, Bri. Isn't he? Are you on Friday, Bri? Are you on Bri?
Bri.
Bri.
Bri. He's gone quiet now.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Great fish and chips too.
Terry, if you want to come, you're more than welcome. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
The more the merrier. That's what we say. Oh, he is. He's on Friday.
Excellent. Well done, Bri. Excellent.
So join us in the chat on Friday where we'll be roasting Bri.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you.
Thank you.
As well.
It's been an
really enjoyed
pleasure.
this evening. I can't wait until the 3rd when we get together and we do our tea dunking composite. What's it called? Tea dunking?
Tea dueling.
Tea dueling. Not tea bagging, Dan.
Not tea bagging. Tea dueling.
It's a whole different kettle of fish.
Not tea bagging. There you go. Excellent.
We may even go live with the tea dueling for a little while. Depends how it goes, how we feel.
Oh, the tea bagging. It depends on how I feel.
Right, on that note, I'm going to end it here. Hope you have a good weekend and a good week, whatever you're doing.
Take it easy, guys. Stay safe. Have a good one.
Right, bye.
Bye. See you all.